Hi, I'm Benja. We have the best exotic Thai food. About Benja is not just good food. It's the way that you will feel when you're here. We make you feel welcome. We make you feel special. And of course, the food is delicious and great service. You will love our place and you will come back for more.
All right, thanks, guys. Coaches, players, members of the media, thank you for your attendance. Landmark event, very excited. First ever Region 9 Media Day, joint venture we've put together with the local media, Sports Radio, ESPN, 106.1, STGnews.com. Looking forward to another tremendous season as all of our teams putting in the hard work right now. You mentioned some of the storylines, defending state champ Dixie Flyers. We've got a first-year head coach in Snow Canyon with Marcus Matua, who will be here later today, as well as Payson, the new team in Region 9. Just keep in mind this event is live on radio as well as streaming online, so certain protocols will be in place. All questions, talking to the microphone, make sure your questions are clear, concise. Coaches, please introduce yourself when asked, and we should have a great day. The itinerary today is the Hurricane Tigers will start things off, followed by Coach Osner and the Pine View Panthers at 2:30. 3 o'clock, we'll have Coach Frankie in Desert Hills. 3:30, it'll be Coach Jeremy Chapman coming down from Payson. 4 o'clock, Coach Blaine Munkers. 4:30, Marcus Matua. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll have Coach Peacock in the Cedar Redmond. In the room with us here today for our radio audience, we have Coach Homer and the Hurricane Tigers. Coach, if you could just take a few minutes, talk about your summer, team camp, 7-on-7, how you've done, what kids have stood out, and just kind of give us an overall outlook and preview for your team heading into this season.
Okay. Yeah, we feel like it's been a great summer for us, and we always feel like it all starts in the weight room for us, and that's kind of what maybe brought us into prominence is our kids working in the weight room and being in their life. And this group was really dedicated, and we probably have 90 to 95% of our kids completing our off-season weight training program, which is always exciting. Because once at the end of the summer and I look at all the data, I know a lot about our team when the summer's over, what we're going to be like in the fall, just by us grabbing onto those numbers and trying to do that. The summer was fun. We don't do a ton of 7-on-7, but what we did, we were very successful. A lot of that was keyed by Adley over there, and we had a lot of fun doing it too. And we don't do a lot of tournaments or anything, but what we do, we enjoy and have some team building experiences there. But our conditioning program's good, our weight training program's good, and so we're excited about the upcoming season.
The Coach Homer there. Also with Coach Homer, Adelaide Elison and Jordan Ince representing the team. And Coach Pearson, who is the offensive coordinator, has been with Coach Homer for 12 seasons. Last year, the Hurricane Tigers, coming off a really good year, 9-2, 5-1 in Region 9. They were co-champs, averaged 31 points a game, gave up 20 a game. And the new Tiger Stadium, everybody got really excited about that. It just seemed like there was just a bigger buzz than ever before in H-Town last year, Coach.
Yeah, we've been lucky enough to build a program where the people of our community love our football team and love our boys and what we do on Friday nights and also on Thursday with our younger groups. And just coming off, we came off the state championship in 2011. There was a big buzz, but we don't feel like we've lost that either. I think a lot of people believe that this is going to be a really good group, and people are excited to watch them.
Coach, real quickly, talk about kids that will have to step up and replace some key seniors you lost last year.
Well, it seems like we always lose good fullbacks, and this year is no different. And as far as offense goes, we're replacing a really good fullback and a really gutty kid in Jared Edwards. But we feel like we have a great replacement. Will be junior Jeremiah Aramia, and he's about 225 pounds of solid muscle, and to be honest with you, I would hate to tackle him, and I think we all would. He ran over one of our coaches last week, and I think he tore his ACL and gave him a concussion. So it was a mistake, and it wasn't meant to be. But we laughed, and then we realized he was hurt, and then we quit laughing. So, but anyway, O-linemen are always hard to replace for us. We're going to be small up front, but we like our toughness of our guys. Jordan Entz will kind of lead that group. He's down on the end over there. But we like that group. We feel good about our team speed. And whenever we have speed, we feel good about things in our season, offensively and defensively, both sides of the ball. But our biggest concern are the lines, our offense and defensive lines at this point.
One more question, this one for Coach Pearson. Coach, can you talk about some of the key offensive battles going on right now in camp for your offensive side?
Yeah, you know what? We, as far as battles are concerned, we share a lot of time with a lot of different people. So I wouldn't say that we have any major head-to-head battles for positions, but we have, right now our backfield is about 3 deep in every spot. We feel good about those kids, and we share them around. And, you know, hopefully we can, like Coach Homer said, solidify the offensive line and make sure that we have some good consistency there. We'll be running a couple of great wide receivers. Jay Williams and Noah Elison will be sharing time there, and they're very fast with great feet, and we're looking forward to what they can do.
All right, Coach Pearson, thank you. Coach Homer,
We
we'll
don't
get back.
talk about wide receivers very often in Hurricane, but we're really excited about the 2 we got this year. So,
All right, now let's open it up to question and answer from the local media, and for the players only for just a minute, and then we'll get back into some questions for the coaches. We've got Adlai Elison and Jordan Ince, and let's go to Patrick. Patrick, your first question.
Throwing it out there, we'll start with Adelaide, replacing Taylor Parker last year. Last year, or 2 years ago, and last year you got a little bit of time. Talk about how it is. You are the man now, you're under center. You guys have tough offense there. You got to make sure you have a ton of reads you're making. How do you feel coming into this season?
Well, just being the oldest, I feel a little bit more confident in what I'm doing. Last year, I just kind of got thrust into it with Zach getting hurt against Desert Hills. This year, I feel a bit more prepared, and I'm just willing to just trust my linemen. I know they're going to take care of me, and if I take care of them, vice versa. So I'm just really excited for what's going to be happening this year.
Oh, any other questions? We can open it up here. Please state your affiliation and your question.
I'm Darren Cole with St. George News. I have a question for Jordan. You're the lone returning offensive lineman, and arguably that's the group of players that has to be the most cohesive unit on the field. Just talk about maybe a couple of the other newcomers and how they're doing, and how do you feel as a group if you guys have reached a cohesive togetherness as a group.
Yeah, us linemen were really close and stuff. We're all friends, but Austin Butler, he got some starting time last year as well. He's going to be another big, the other tackle. He'll be on the right side, I'll be on the left side. And we have Travis Porter, who'll be center. He's been working really hard in the weight room this year and stuff. And Rhett Gubler and Charlie Safita. That'll be the offensive line. Then defensive line, Jacob Randall stepped it up a lot. He's going to be our nose guard, and we'll have me and Austin Butler as tackles. And like I said, we're all really close, great buddies. We always hang out together, and I think that's going to help us a lot because we can trust each other and we're all on the same page.
Hey Jordan, Andy Griffin. I'm curious, blocking for Hurricane is a little bit different than everybody else who's running the spread offense. Tell me kind of about your experience as an offensive lineman at Hurricane. I guess theoretically you don't have to hold your blocks as long if the fullback's getting the ball just like that. Just tell us a little bit about that if you would.
Yeah, I really like it. We rode a lot, so it's definitely different blocking and stuff, lots of down blocks and stuff, but I enjoy it and I think it's really fun. This offense is pretty much made for these linemen that are coming through, big, not big guys, really quick, hard hitters. So.
Hey, Ali, David from the Spectrum. One of the things Hurricane's been known for over the years is their off-season conditioning, hitting the weights. Take me a little bit through your regimen in the off-season.
For me personally, me and my brother and a couple other guys had the opportunity to go work out at CrossFit 435 with Ryan Wright. And to be honest, I was kind of glad that conditioning week came because he put us through the grind really well, and we were all ultra in shape and ready for football when it came around.
Mike Butler with the Spectrum. Quick question for you. Your first 4 games are on the road. What challenges do you think that's going to face? That's pretty unusual to have to go so far for a whole month. How do you prepare for that? How's that going to be different for anybody?
I like away games. I like to play away to cause some havoc kind of to the other teams. I think it's going to be fun, actually. We've had games this far away before. Last year we went up north and stuff, so it's not going to be too different from anything we've already had, I don't think. So.
Adelaide, I'm just curious, this is Devin Dixon. Your brother plays on the team. Growing up, take me through what's that like. He's a junior. He's gonna get a lot of playing time. What's your thoughts?
Well, the story was when he's a receiver and I'm a quarterback. The joke was when we were growing up that I was such a bad quarterback that whenever the ball going to the bushes, he'd have to go get it. So he learned just to catch the ball, or else he was gonna have to go get it. So we're fierce competitors with each other. Like I'll admit, there's been many a fight where me and him have just competed at each other, and that is just great that we're just at the same athletic level that we can just push each other to the brink and just make each other that much better.
Other questions for the media?
Adelaide, do you have to lobby with Coach Pearson and Coach Homer to throw the ball a little bit more? I mean, theoretically, you're only going to get 8 to 10 attempts a game. Maybe we can bump that up to 15 or something?
That's all up to Coach Pearson, I believe. It's whatever he thinks. If he thinks we need to throw more, then we'll throw more. Otherwise, we're just going to trust him and just do what he says.
Any other questions for Hurricane Tigers Jordan Ince and Adelaide Ellison from the media? All right. With that said, let's get back to the coaches, and this time we can now open it up for a Q&A with the media and Coach Homer and Coach Pearson.
Coach Homer? This thing on? Oh, here we go. Last year you guys were cruising along. The winning streak was building. Then you kind of hit it. You lost to Desert Hills, and it seemed like the defense was never the same the rest of the year. What steps do you think taken to improve that and get you guys back to defensively where you had been before?
Yeah, all year long it was a little bit struggle defensively for us. We gave up more points than we usually do, and as the defensive coordinator, I take a lot of that responsibility. I in a lot of ways I never feel like I figured out my guys, and but like you said, I mean, it was an inconsistent group, and some weeks were great, and some weeks were really rough, and we never could really put it together. And like you said, I mean, the Desert Hills triple overtime loss did absolutely shake our confidence last year throughout the rest of the year, and losing in my opinion, our unquestioned leader, Zach Prince, in that game was tough. And it should be noted that Adley stepped in and got us through a fourth quarter and then 3 overtimes after that, and they made all the plays and they deserved to win. But it was tough on our psyche. We came back and we beat up on Canyon View, and we beat up on Delta, and we thought we kind of had it where we wanted to, and then we had to go up to Salt Lake, and we pretty much got annihilated by Juan Diego. But we feel like that's in the past in a lot of ways, and it's a scar, but scars heal. It's always there. You don't want to forget about it, but it's a totally new group now, and it is my job to make sure that we can do better on defense this year and maybe get back to where we were. But we did struggle a little bit last year.
Coach, I saw when the question was asked, your first 4 games on the road, you put your head down and just kind of shook your head for a minute. Take us through that in the coach's perspective. The kids like to travel. They like to get out and get out of school early and have some fun. But talk about it in the coach's perspective.
I do feel like I want to explain that, because what happened was we had West Jordan scheduled for 2 more years with a home and away, a home and home, and they fired their coach in January, called me the next day and said, "Hey, we're not coming down. Sorry." And that leaves us scrambling for games. And I think if you ask any of the guys you're going to be talking to today, except for maybe Payson's coach, we're such a disadvantage when it comes to scheduling down here. Number 1, we play really good football. Number 2, people know it's going to be 105 at game time in August, and there's not a lot of teams that want to run down from northern Utah to play in 105. And most smaller schools don't want to play us for injury purpose. Most bigger schools don't want to play us because they don't want to lose to a 3A team. And so we end up, it's really, really tough to schedule. And at one point late in the season, we were 6 away games and 3 home. And then Logan called, said, "Hey, what do you think?" And we said, "No, absolutely not." But now they're on the schedule, so something changed in there. We got a tough schedule, but anyway.
That Coach Mike McGarry, you're talking about scheduling, and obviously now you've got a travel date built into your schedule, Payson joins.
Yeah.
Just talk a bit about that, adding in some of you've got to go away to play.
I've kind of got an interesting link to Payson. I did my student teaching there out of BYU, so I haven't told Coach Chapman that yet there because I don't know. But it's going to be interesting, you know. In my 15 years at Hurricane, Canyon View was just always there, and your region was set. And even when they split 4A and 3A and took some, we still played each other every year. So it's new and exciting. It's almost going to feel like a preseason game to us because it's the first game of region, and we obviously we know we have to win, but I think it's going to feel like a preseason game in some ways because we're going to a new school. But we're excited for Payson, and I know they feel good about their team, and they're not afraid to be in it's hard to say this, but what, 3 AA South now? Yeah.
Devin Dixon again. Guys, Coach Pearson, talk about, there's a lot of people saying it's watered down now with the changes and the realignment. Talk about that from your perspective.
I think there is some credence to that criticism. We've gone from 3A being a classification with, 32 teams, and now we're down to, somewhere in the mid-teens as far as the 3 AA. And so I think it does water things down a little bit. However, the teams that are in 3 AA are still very quality teams, and so there won't be as many of them, but the ones that remain are good programs with great coaching and great kids. So a little bit changes, but really when we get down towards the end of the season, we still have to fight for a playoff spot and try to go deep into November as we possibly can, and hopefully we can accomplish that.
Coach Homer, follow-up question. Talk about how there are maybe some similarities or there are not similarities between this group in fall camp and some of the other groups you've had over the past decade plus.
They're all so different, and I know we're into coaches' cliches at this point, but I mean, you really get a different feel for each group, and not only is it a different feel, but they're still working on their chemistry and cohesiveness and leadership and who's our leaders and who's going to basically be our playmakers, who can we depend on as coaches. That we have plenty of battles for starting positions, and we're seeing who our competitors are. And so we've had a great run the last 5 years, and we have a great system, and I have great coaches coaching, and so we feel good about our system. We feel good about our situation, and now and everybody in town, how good you're going to be, how many games you're going to win, we don't know. And I told these guys that last night. We don't know how good we're going to be, but we do feel good about our team, although we have plenty of holes to fill.
Coach Homer, Coach Pearson, Jordan Ince, and Adelaide Eilson here. Any other questions from members of the media? One final question for Coach Pearson from me. Coach, do you feel like you will maybe be a little bit more balanced and throw the ball a little bit more this year? I know it's a gut in-game decision based on opponents, but has there been a little bit of shift in mindset with the player personnel that you have this year?
Yeah, we may go totally crazy. Instead of throw the ball 10 times, we may go 11. And no, but you know what? We have a great quarterback, and we have great backs and great tight ends that can catch and great wide receivers. And so we would like to be able to spread it around a little bit more and keep defenses off balance and try to keep people out of the box a little bit more. So, I can't put a number on that, but it's kind of a feel, game time feel and situational feel. So we'll see what happens there. But we have confidence in our young men. They're great players, and they can get that job done if we need to.
Can you, Coach, just talk a little bit more about your new fullback? That's obviously maybe the most key position at Hurricane High School. You've had some great kids come through over the years, Kenny and Brian Scott and Jared Edwards, et cetera, et cetera. Can you talk about your new fullback and what you expect from him and what you think he'll be able to do?
Well, first of all, we're really excited about him. I mean, he's big and he's strong and he's fast, but the reality is he's only played the position for 1 year. He was an offensive guard, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. We saw potential there. We had a situation where we needed to find a fullback. We had one move away from us. And now he's there, and we love what we see. No one's worked harder than the off season. He's getting lots of looks from a lot of different schools, in state, out of state. There's a lot of recruiting. I mean, when you're 225 pounds and 6'2" and have the set of legs on, I mean, it's amazing. This kid is put together really well, but he still has to prove that he can take a varsity type of beating that our fullbacks take, because it's a tough position. Plus, he's going to play linebacker and quite a bit of that too. So he's got himself in good shape to do it, but it remains to be seen that he can last a varsity season in our region, for one thing. But we think he can. We think he's going to be special.
Can I, kind of off-topic football, but I did want to ask about Brian Scott and how he's doing.
Brian is not doing so good. The first round of chemo did not work. He's been back up at Primary Children's Hospital, and I talked to him just a few days ago. They are currently exploring some alternative medicine, holistic stuff, mixed in with a probable bone marrow transplant. Luckily, they found a match in his sister, so they do have a match that way. But there's a lot of stuff going on there, and none of it's good, unfortunately. We thought we had it, and then it came back. So it's unfortunately not good news for Brian at this point.
Is there anything that are you guys going to try to do something for him like we had last year? Is there anything that the public can do or that the media can do?
We definitely are. It's kind of interesting how, as humans, the first time it was really a big deal and people want to be involved, and the pocketbooks came open, and he was coming off he was our 3A MVP in 2011, and then the second time through, there's not as much interest, to be honest, and so we'll try to drum up some for him and his family and make sure the support's there. Our community definitely supports him, but it's out of sight, out of mind, unfortunately, being a couple of years removed from being the 3A MVP. So we'll try to get the word out, and I know you guys will help us, which we appreciate.
Any final questions for Coach Homer or Coach Pearson? Hurricane Tigers, appreciate you coming. Thanks for being here, guys. Wish you the best of luck this season. Again, they'll open on the 23rd against Skyline in the season opener. Best of luck this year, guys. Thanks for being here. Mike, Andy, back over to you.